All right, so this is intended to be a veggie plot eventually. Nothing ever made it in here last year. I think I tried to grow basil and stuff, but nothing took. And it was mostly just out of an abundance of neglect and attention being paid to other parts of the garden. But I did manage to propagate some creeping Jenny, and it seems to be, it seemed to do well last year, and now it's coming back. You can see, so like all this fresh, bright green growth, and then like here's all the stuff that kind of overwintered. And one thing I was learning about in my botany textbook and with various other sources, don't focus on my hand, focus on the plant, was that, so the red pigmentation that plants have, like here, is from their anthocyanin pigments, which occur when the plant is stressed. And so I hypothesize that those red pigmentations are because it was stressed out from being cold. I mean, I get stressed out being cold. Anyway, and I've got some strawberries coming up, and I got a little flower. Somebody's gonna pollinate that guy, and then we'll see if it's the wild strawberries or the strawberry cutting that Miss Tracy gave me last year. We shall see. Anyway, my pear trees looking pretty good. Ficus, focus. So I've got some issues with focusing, and so does my camera. Okay, that'll do. So this is what is called an apical meristem, or maybe an apical meristem, which is the first sign of growth in a plant. So that little pointy bit here, that is protective tissue that the plant has. It's basically like a really thick scab. And so the new growth, soaking up all the water and everything, will push through that scar tissue and create new growth over here and wherever else there is an apical meristem. And I think we're going to see that for a little while. This guy hasn't seemed to budge in a month. Perhaps it is forming more meristems. But, you know, nature moves a little slower than we do. So, and here is Mr. Seckel's pollination partner, or Ms. Seckel, I don't know, Seckel, Moonglow. And now I feel like Frank Zappa. I did not name this plant. It came like this. But yeah, if it can't focus, just imagine you were watching the same thing earlier and just put a different name on it. But it's got similar growth right now, although it is significantly taller because, as I think I might have mentioned before, the Seckel pear is a dwarf variety. So I think it caps out at about 12 feet. Moonglow is a regular one because that was the only kind I could get at the time, and it can grow, I think it's like 20 feet or something like that. I think I remember seeing at least 16, and I figured I'll take my chances and then I'll just learn how to prune. We'll see how that goes too. Anyway, I've got blackberries and some more creeping Jenny. This is the stuff that I grabbed a small cutting of and put it in that other flower bed. And it seems to be doing pretty great again over here. This was a place where I had a lot of poison ivy as well last year that I pulled out and managed to not like get super itchy or anything. I don't know what happened. Wait, I wash with Technu like every time I do yard work. That's probably why. I highly recommend that if you play outside. Just get Technu and just keep it in the shower. But anyway, so there is a blackberry bush right here, next to regular ivy. And, you know, I don't know enough. I'll never know enough. But I'm pretty sure that these guys are getting a little crispy just because I guess it's fragile new growth and hotter and increasing temperatures. Yeah, sun's shining a lot longer. So he's just getting a little crispy. But he's shot up another one over here because I tied up. Oh my God. Oh, this is exciting. So a couple of weeks ago, actually about a month ago, I put up some twine over here after watching another video about how to trellis your blackberries. And so I figured I'd get out here and go check on things and then kind of get started on some stuff. And so when I put this in, I had positioned this cane, like the tip of it, over this, and it seems to have taken pretty well to it. That's awesome. All right, cool. And the new growth looks really good. Look at it. It's so pretty. Holy shit. And there's a little one. And I know you'd call these serrated leaves. Whoops. Whoa. I know you'd call these serrated margins because the outside part of a leaf is called the margin. And sorry, I'm distracted by a vine that is in my face. Anyway, this particular blackberry cane got extra crispy, but it's showing new growth. So I guess, well, just like anything else, like the first leaves, they're serving less of a purpose. And they can now the plant can now photosynthesize with its new growth, and I suppose that's sufficient enough that the older leaves can die back. I don't have any better ideas. And these were, so that was another thing I learned too, was that blackberry canes will, they'll tip root. So, and what by tip root, is if I bend this guy and I stick this end in the dirt, it will grow another shoot, and then I can clip it right there and have a whole new plant, which is what I did here. And I potted them up just to see if they'd pot up okay, and a couple of them have made it. I'm not sure about this guy. I'm very laissez-faire in my experiments. They are not very scientific at all. Let's see if this guy, get on the rope. Get on the rope. On the rope again. Just can't wait to get you on the rope again. That'll do. It'll fall down as soon as I leave. This one, however, seems to be pretty gorgeous. Oh, wow. Yeah. So this has a cane that's going all the way up over here, and it's showing a little bud right there. So pretty. I'll break out the macro lens for video once I figure out like video stuff on this phone. Yeah, I'll take pictures later. But yeah, this one seems to be very, very, very happy. So that's very exciting. Is that you? Or is that, I'm not going to ask questions. I'll just be surprised. My mystery plant has new growth on it. I know enough now. I've watched and read enough botany stuff to know what new growth looks like on just about any plant right now. So that's really cool. And the apical meristems of my Rebus nigrum, my black consort currant, and the spiky bush I want to kill, and I'm trying to very slowly, trying to be all Moriarty about it. I've got The little baby hydrangea that popped up last year will probably flower this year. Now that I think about it, because this is, so the growth from last year will have flowers on it this year, because it blooms on old wood. So that's really exciting. I'll be curious to see like if it gets like 2 flowers. It'll be really pretty. Nothing's coming up over here that I can tell, aside from the ivy. And it knows where the fuck it can go. And my crop of bricks is still here. As well as all the cardboard that I did sheet mulch with. And most of it was intended to be sheet mulch material, but it is still sheet mulch. It's just not properly placed anywhere. This is the branch of Damocles that every time I work over here, I'm concerned that I will die on my own property by a rogue breeze. So let's keep walking. This was something I did. I was trying out my loppers and stuff. I was looking at, oh yeah, that's right, because there's this damn Mahonia. This is the bane of my existence, my white whale. And I'm proud of myself to know enough that when it's flowering, like to cut off the head when it's flowering. Just go ahead and just behead it, because then it won't be able to produce berries and thus will not get eaten by birds and shat somewhere else to grow some more in its place, because this stuff is a nuisance. Despite the fact that like cruciferous human beings like to attest to its medicinal properties, this thing is fucking ugly. It doesn't smell that great, and a bunch of other things, which kind of just tells me that maybe I shouldn't be eating it. Maybe I shouldn't be putting any of it in my body. But, you know, you do you. That's cool. Like, you know, what doesn't kill you, yada, yada. But yeah, I cut down, I practice a little bit of deforestation in my own backyard, because these are all like little saplings from God only knows what in this forest, which is cool, but I want to actually like put stuff here. So, and I have like this big guy. I have no idea how tall he is. I'd be curious if to contact any like arborist friends and see if they can figure out how to tell. Because I know that tulip poplars can get, they can live up to 500 years. So this guy has seen some shit, especially in the area of town I live in. This fucker's seen some serious shit. Anyway, oh, Zutala, I have missed you. This was stuff that I didn't get to. And I also didn't get to that side because I haven't figured really. There's so much to do on this side. I haven't even hopped over to the other side. But, so this is what happens if you don't deadhead the Mahonia. Like, actually, those berries are they're quite pretty. They're really, really pretty. But this plant is such an invasive species. And like, it really does just take over. And then you can't, like, I mean, I've had my mail held hostage because of this plant. It don't play. Here's the fence I need to fix. And I only say I need to fix it because it was my tree what brought it down. Oops. And I planted some lily corm, some ginger lily corms here. So the corm is the root ball. It's like rhizome. That's where the plant grows from. And I got them for my birthday. And I planted them around here. And I haven't seen sign of them yet. But unless those are true leaves right there for that plant, then I got nothing. But it's only been about 5 months, so it might still be, and those are pretty thick corms, it might still be soaking up a lot of water. But this area is kind of new too. So it's the bed of composting ivy I've had for the past 2 years that has been in trash bags. I have since taken them out of the bags. I have not taken the bags out of my yard. But I put all of that was composting in the sun under that tarp for like a year. And then there were things living in it. It wasn't pleasant, but I mean, it wasn't terrible either. It was mostly like I saw a mouse and a couple of snakes. So that was just an exciting day in the garden. But I've got irises popping up over there. I planted, I don't know how successful this is going to be, but I did throw some bulbs or some Jerusalem artichoke that I got at the grocery store. And since they are native to this continent and country, I threw them in there, and we'll see what happens. If I get them, great. If I don't, I'll buy more and plant them somewhere else and try again. It is mostly an experiment of, will it grow with neglect? And then I had, let me get closer because they're all looking terrible now. But it was the plants that I had gotten from TJ's, and it's going, I guess. I mean, we'll see because this tulip has died back entirely. Because this one still has all of its petals. And, this still has all of its petals and everything. But this makes me think either, so the petals died off. And then I wonder if it was pollinated. And because now the anthers are all dead. Although I'm sure that they could just, I don't remember I haven't gotten that far. But yeah, I'll be curious to see if I get more tulips. More daffodils and some compost. The bigger hydrangea has started leafing out. They're just so pretty. Oh, I gotta sneeze. There's works in progress over there. Sage seems to be having a great time. I can't believe I started that from a grocery store cutting. Lavender is existing despite adversity. My freesias are starting to come up. So I'll be curious to see when they bloom. And no sign of life from any of the other seeds and bulbs I planted over here. So, but hey, I'm honestly just happy with the freesias. That's why I bought them. And then no one's really coming up over here too much. My raspberries are, and my blueberries are starting. So this is a raspberry with its new growth. Good God, it's a bunch of out of focus plants, isn't it? I'm gonna have to do this again. This blueberry seems to... They're rabbit's eye blueberries. But these little guys are budding. Like, that's gonna bloom. Those are little blossoms. And it's such a lovely shade of green. It is so pretty. I go inside and I'm like, I hope one of my colored pencils is actually like that green. It's so pretty. And here's its pollination partner, who's budding out at the same time, roughly. It's a little later, but I think they should be okay. Because, I mean, they got these puppies. That's just so pretty. Too pretty. But yeah. And nothing over there yet. I checked earlier. My tea olive has kind of exploded in new growth. Like, see all this? That's all new stuff. So when I bought it, it was all like, I mean, like really from the dark leaves down, that was the plant that I bought. And it's just amazing like how much it's just boom. And it's gotten taller. And then right here in the middle, after looking at some photos of the other tea olives and kind of looking at the plant a bit more, I believe that this is peduncle, which is the base of a flower. I could be wrong. It could also sprout out new branches with more leaves on it, because I've been wrong before many times, and I'll probably do it again. Oh yeah, nah. Well, maybe. You know, maybe it has like is it like a basil leaf? It's like a leaf underneath it, and then maybe it flowers up top. We'll find out when this guy does something within the next week. And I mean, like, you see the sky. We've got forecasted rain for the whole week next week. This week. Like, I was planning on going to the botanical gardens on Wednesday, but there's a 90% chance that it's gonna rain. So, whatever. Guess I'll stay here and look at pretty flowers, because my azaleas are starting to bloom, or at least like these guys. They get the most sun. These guys not so much. But yeah, this has a couple of blooms on. Oh, wow. Hi. I didn't see you before. But yeah, you see this? Look at all that. Which is really cool, because I trimmed these guys last year. So now it's going to have a whole flush of new growth. Or it's had a whole flush of new growth and a whole bunch of opportunities to blossom. So, if anything, that's a real message to trim regularly, prune azaleas. But yeah, as soon as these guys start looking haggard and rode hard and put up wet, they're getting a haircut. And then my elderberry seems to be very happy. No signs of flowers or anything quite yet, but like this whole bunch of new growth and stuff, and they look really happy. So, but I leave with this guy. This is my clematis, or clematis as we say in America. I was kind of worried about him because, as you can see, like right where that white dot is, that seemed to be a place where it's like kind of crunchy and crispy, and I thought it was gonna break. But like, look at this. This is all thick and stuff. So I think it seems to be doing fine. I mean, like, that new growth looks really healthy, and it's pretty pleased with the trellis I put up. So we'll see. Anyway, I guess I'll sign off for now, and I'm gonna go take a shower because I'm disgusting. And I'll see you in like a month or two. All right, cheers.